Counting down. 4 minutes to go. Counting down. 3 minutes to go. Yes, I started the live a little early because I need to make sure I had a connection. We're in Colombia as I type. Headed to Armenia this afternoon. Parque del Cafe tomorrow, followed by Panaka. That's awesome. You're gonna have a lot of fun. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, George. Good morning, John. And good morning from Hawaii. Cartagena. Not my favorite, but certainly interesting, especially the old Spanish fort. Little, little warm, little muggy, a little beachy. Buen dia, senor. Good morning, Bill. Got about a minute to go. Alejandra, why aren't you here? Welcome back. Jukka from Helsinki. Almost time.
Right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive?
I'll just have a cup of coffee, then I'll go. Thought that
I miss that guy. Welcome back to the channel, Grand Colombia. Welcome to Coffee Time Live here in Armenia, Colombia. Another beautiful day. Some friends are headed to the airport, going back to the USA for about 8 weeks. And that's going to leave a couple of you with some good news, which I'll get to in a little bit. Rob, glad to see you're up this morning. Okay, Alejandra, you don't invite me. You got an open invitation. Well, you're standing on ceremony? You don't send me messages anymore? She doesn't know me anymore. Okay, just kidding. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Let's see. Aloha, good morning. Let's see. Okay, we'll go right to it. The couple that's going back to the US, they recently bought, as for their investment visa, a nice condo that's within stone's throw of my place here. It's right on Parque Fundadores. And while they're gone, it's going to be available for you to rent, kind of Airbnb style without the Airbnb. And I put together this little commercial, this little advertisement. So let's see if it works. It's a nice place. They invited me over for dinner last night, and great dinner. Had a good time. I don't usually go out at night, but it was nice. They wanted to say goodbye before they head back to the U.S. And it's already rented for, I don't know exactly. I think it's August 14th for 7 or 10 days. That's our Chad's going to rent it. I've mentioned Chad. Actually, in the last couple videos, he was here for a while, and he was in a video when I was at Container City. HD Chillin', thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you'll notice because I got complaints. Where can I find it? Where is it? At the top of the, well, it's not on this screen, but if you look at the chat, it's pinned at the top of the chat. So you click on that, and the little box opens, and you click on the link, and it takes you right there. As a matter of fact, where is it? Do I have it? Yeah, this is what it looks like. So when you click that link, it takes you to this, and that's our YouTube substitute. Oh yeah, speaking of YouTube, my favorite people, they not only demonetize me for life, can't open another channel to be monetized. That's it. There's no appeal. That's their rule. Not me in particular, but that's what they do. Thank you very much. However, they also have basically taken me off the charts. I mean, they have, they say it's the algorithm. People that were getting notices, this is how it works. So let's say you were looking in Colombia, then whatever you were searching would come up, but I would probably be somewhere in that list of things that you searched. And if you were looking in Armenia, Colombia on YouTube, usually I was like the first or second one that would come up. So it was out there. Well, now they've kind of buried it. So, if you watch something, instead of me being in that list of things that they might suggest, now I'm invisible. So it wasn't enough that they demonetize people, but they're doing that also. And it's been, typically I'll have 80 to 100 subscribers every month. That's been pretty consistent over the last year. And as soon as they did that, it's dropped down to where I think I've got 20 or 30 subscribers over the last month. So they're still there, but I also noticed that a number of those are people that already watch the channel and talk in the chat, and so it's not like they're even new people. So, thank you, YouTube. Really appreciate the slave labor, the child labor. Okay, enough complaining about that. Um, well, let's go through these. Good morning from Northeast Washington. Oh, you want to clarify that it's Northeast Washington because we know that particularly the politics are a little different there. Hope all is well in Armenia. Everything's good in Armenia. Howard, good morning. Phil, I stayed in that building last year. Very nice. It is. It's a very nice building. What would the cost to buy something like that? I can't really comment on that directly because it was kind of a weird situation. You can't negotiate very well on a last minute deal. But that aside, you can get places like that anywhere from 50 to 100,000. Let's just say, that'll be, typical price range. My apartment, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, is under 55,000 if I were to buy it. Is that place guest friendly? Within reason, yeah. I mean, no parties or anything, but yeah. John, good morning, Armenians. Well, this one says good morning back to you. From Trenton, New Jersey. Okay, woohoo, America, free enterprise over any government control. Here you are, YouTube, faceplant. Yeah. Okay. There is a difference. What is there a difference about? Oh yeah. Northeast. Yes, definitely. Yep, I'm aware. And what do we got? Good morning from Miami. Good morning. Okay. Enjoy those. Actually, they're pretty good. The protests that are going on there. It's kind of it's kind of welcome. So, but I took a quick stroll yesterday, and I just got a couple things. It's not all that riveting, but I figured I'd show you anyway, because I am always preaching to people. When they come here, a lot of people have been coming, and carry an umbrella, especially if you're going out in the afternoon or the evening. Carry an umbrella. I got this little one that extends. So here we go. I tell everybody, don't forget your umbrella when you're going out. And guess what I did? I forgot my umbrella. Casa Violeta. Cafe Casa Violeta. It's a grand opening. It's early and a lot of people are showing up. Yeah, that green space thing, I've mentioned it a bunch of times that one of the things I really love about Armenia is like all over Armenia, except the very concentrated center, you have all these little hidden gems, these green spaces that'll be like these little miniature bamboo forests. I mean, the bamboo's not miniature, but the forest is miniature. And it's really cool. It's not like they're parks or anything. It's like nature grew into the city the city kind of grew around nature, but they left it there, and it's just all over the place. And I really like that. Northeast United States being kind of old timey, you'll see huge tree lined roads with big trees, tree lined roads, and a lot of greenery. But it's different here. It's more wild. It's like you step into one of those and you might as well step into a place that's 300 miles from anyone. It's pretty cool. Can we reserve the apartment through you? That's pretty much the only way to do it. they're, whoops. Oh, yeah. They, you can't really get in touch with them, directly right now. So, you shoot me off a message, and then what I'll do is, see, they're in flight today, but what I'll do is I'll get you connected with them once you send me the message, and they'll tell you how to, send them the money. And I believe, if Alejandra, if you're still on here, I believe she has the key, and she'll be the one letting people in and then coming and checking to make sure that you didn't destroy it and that you cleaned it when she lets you out. Now, I don't know if she's going to go up there with, 3 or 4 security guards to make sure that you don't move until she inspects it. No, okay. So I'm exaggerating a little. See, the thing is, she's really tough. She doesn't need security guards. Okay. So I covered that. I did that. Now, what was it? Somebody told me in a message this week. Damn, it just flashed, and I can't remember who it was, but it's in England or UK, and he was talking about mentioning something Freedom Day on the 20th. If you're on, tell me what that is. Sorry, I don't remember. I told you I would forget, and I said remind me in the chat. I have an apartment to rent in Armenia. I recently bought the apartment. Yeah, you could send me a message if, see, here's the thing. When people come here, I meet up with them, and I give them up to 3 days. Stay here, we'll hang out, tell them everything they need to know, show them the lay of the land, take them to the visa office if they need, to pick them up at the airport, all that kind of stuff to make life real simple, avoid mistakes, and basically cut through 3 or 4 weeks of discovering things accidentally. I just kind of lay it out for them. But on the 3rd day is the last day, and you can't be here any longer. And so this kind of thing is perfect to then kick over. Now, normally what we do is, before we get to the 3rd day and they got to pack up and leave, I sit down with them and I say, okay, this is what's available out there right now in this neighborhood and that neighborhood, because I know where the good things are. And so whatever's available, and we choose. But with this, as long as it's open, you don't have to wonder if it's, what are you going to get? You don't have to search. It can already be set up for you. So, that's one of the advantages. Tuesday's a holiday in Colombia. Yeah, I'm aware. And on that note, they're closing down through the 20th, I think through Wednesday, all the roads in and out of Armenia, except for specific travel. Like if you're going to and from the airport, if you've got a job you're traveling to, what they're basically doing is, see, the universities have not been conducting classes, but they've been breeding socialists. And so they've been doing a lot of protesting. Now here in Armenia, they get together and it's more party, but they do it on a pretty regular basis. And what they're concerned with is that they can't afford to have these roads shut down, because what you may not know about Armenia is it's extremely important to the country of Colombia. Everything that comes in from the Pacific coast usually comes in through Buenaventura, then it goes through Cali, it comes through Armenia. Everything, it's like this hub. And if those roads close down, it hurts all of Colombia. And so it's a precautionary thing, and it's not like anybody has to worry about it. And, deliveries are going to come through and gasoline will come through and all that. But they have this precautionary thing going on. Um, Boris Johnson plans to announce that the mandatory use of face masks on public transport, stores, and other public settings are lifted July 19th. UK's called. Wow. Well, let's hear it for UK. Coleman. Now, come on. Are you really world traveling? Every weekend, he throws in some new, weird, out of the way place. It could very well be. I mean, if he sold his house, which was the plan, maybe he's like rich now and he's traveling the world, but I don't know. Chad, had a break in my meeting. Just wanted to mention Lauren and Alejandro do an amazing job introducing you to the area. Headed back to the meeting now. Saludos. Well, thank you. Thank you for that unsolicited advertisement. I appreciate it. No, he had messaged me. He says, "Well, I won't be able to be on the chat today because he's in the military still." He says, "I've got this meeting." He sent me a picture with everybody in their fatigues or whatever they call them these days, and he says, "I won't be there, but you just got a break." Prove it, Coleman. Walk like an Egyptian. I guess I should be standing. Yes, definitely. Everybody should be standing right now. Isn't that America the Beautiful? Isn't that what that song is? Oh, beautiful for spacious skies or something like, I don't know. Pierre, hello from Atlanta. Good morning. We got people from all over the place, don't we? And Helsinki's, he's here every week. Is that where what's her face is from? That twerp that. Yeah, I think the Brits had it first. Prove it. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if they had it first. I think they claim that they had it first. But I think this goes back to my country, 'tis of thee. Yeah. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Yeah, that's it. Get my songs wrong. Still have that sore throat that's been plaguing me. Probably got the cold. Helsinki loves Armenia. How can you not love Armenia? How can you not love it? When Chad left from his visit, he was all but in tears. I don't want to go. I don't want to go again. And as soon as he got back there, he booked his next trip because he can't retire right away. And Rob's kind of the same way. He keeps coming back to Colombia, and he's got a couple years before he can officially retire. So last night, I'm with the couple that are flying back, and they've got to be gone for about, I guess, 8 weeks or so, maybe even a little longer. And he just started, before I had to leave, he just started, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And he told me something I didn't realize. They came to visit, stopped in when they got here. And then I didn't see them for, I don't know, a couple months. They were traveling all over Colombia. They were everywhere. And then they kept coming back here. And then they were traveling all around here. I mean, they've really covered a lot of area. And next thing I know, they're buying this place. So they've been here I think 6 months, where they actually had only originally planned to just kind of check it out on vacation. He's a digital warrior. He makes his money online, so he can be anywhere to do his job. well, not only did he decide, or they decide that they love Colombia, but they decided after all that traveling that there's no place like Armenia. Click my heels together 3 times. There's no place like home. And man, it's so, last night he's just telling me, he says, really hitting me, I've got to be gone here. It's like, there's this, I don't know, there's this feeling that some of us get where, um, that we're not addicted to wild nightclub scenes, although, they've got some here, but um, if you just like a calm and peaceful and happy and positive life with helpful, smiling people around you, speaking of, I don't know if you saw Marshall's last video, but if you haven't, check it out. He did a video where he came back to Armenia, and he actually had done that like a couple weeks prior. When he was on this show 2 weeks ago, that's when that occurred. And he was only here for a couple days, but in that video, he did some clips from 4 years ago. Like he went into this clothing store and asked, hey, the zipper is messed up. Can you take care of it? And the guy took care of it. And for whatever reason, he ended up not paying. So he goes back to visit the guy 4 years later. The guy not only remembered him, but he's telling Marshall, oh, don't worry about it. It was free, And it's like, but he remembered him. And he said, he's still doing those videos. And he showed a couple of those things. It's not unusual. And people that come here to visit, they always have these stories to tell me about, these favors or things that people did. Like there was this one couple, older couple, and they were stopped on the street and they're kind of looking around, looked a little confused. And this guy comes up, he says, you okay? Can I help you? Is there anything I can do? And they said, well, we're trying to find this address and we don't know where it is. Or no, it wasn't even an address. We're looking for a place to rent for a month. And I may have that, one or the other, doesn't matter. The point is, perfect stranger says, here, let me show you. And he takes them like a block and a half and knocks on the door and introduces them to these people, and they end up renting there. And they just said that you don't have to ask for help. There's just people that notice and care. And and I've heard millions, I've had stories like that. That's the norm. That's not out of the ordinary. Yeah, I could go on all day with pretty cool stories with, taxi cabs that constantly stop to let people go across crosswalks and things like that. Where in Medellin, I mean, you better, you're counting the distance between the cars so you know when to leap. It's a big city, It's just different here. Coleman, Istanbul tomorrow. That's Constantinople to you. Yeah. Okay. So I'm completely off track. Let's do some Q&A. I think my clock is working this week. I'm showing 11:25 my time. That sounds about right. So, if you got any questions, let's get on with it. I mean, if you don't have any questions, I can rant some more about YouTube, or I can rave some more about Armenia. Any opinions on the recent exchange rate? Sure, I like it, but it's in the range of where it'll typically be. It'll drop down a little, it'll go up a little. Overall, it's not that big a deal. It's running around 3,800, I believe, right now to the dollar. Pre-COVID, I think it got up to 41. That was an all-time high. It's been for the past year ranging around 35 to 38. It's right in there. Um, it's a nice exchange rate. I like it. I appreciate it. It's a heck of a lot better than it was 3 years ago when it was around 2,800. So whenever the exchange rate goes up, it's like windfall profits. It's pretty nice. Um, when is Coleman opening up a travel channel? Um, yeah, I want to see some proof here. I'm not sure I'm buying it. All right, what do we got here? Hello, my friend. I usually view this video during the week, but I was able to tune in today for a couple minutes. Keep the good work up, my friend. Did you hear about the July 20th strike? Yes, I mentioned that just a little bit ago. Um, I don't know. We shall see. I don't expect any problems. I mean, these things are kind of typical, but the university students don't have a lot to do right now, and there's just enough. It's like they get out there and it's same here. It's like, well, at least we're doing something. Well, they're not really doing anything, but it's that idea. If I post it in Facebook, then I've done something and I'm contributing to the general welfare of people when they're really not. And we're going to get out and we're going to protest, and very often they're misinformed of what they're even protesting about. There's a lot of that going on. But what's new? What's new in this world? What are the new requirements for entry? No quarantine. There's no quarantine. There's no new requirements for entry. You just come here. You have the thing that they've always had, the check mig. You get a check mig app or website, and all that is the immigration, where you're going to be staying, how long you're going to be here, what are you here for, that kind of thing. So you do that, but there's no COVID test. You just come. You stamp your passport and you're in. We should call it the Colombian Antifa. Well, the Antifa equivalent here are mostly not Colombians. They're mostly from out of the country. Um, you've got a fair amount from Venezuela. You get some from Cuba. They're groups with vested interest, kind of getting paid like Antifa. Not to say that there aren't Colombians in it. There certainly are, and it's not really Antifa. What it is, you have these protests, and then you'll have a dozen or so people come in, infiltrate it, and start. They're the ones that start up the crap. They'll start by throwing a brick at the police or something, and trying to get people to join in. Here in Armenia, that didn't work. I already talked about it, where they're trying to burn down this little police kiosk, and the people of that neighborhood actually went and got the police and pointed these people out. So, I mean, they weren't going to have any of it. And all of those people, 14, I think it was, whatever the number was, they were all arrested. So, yay, Armenia. Very cool. Yeah, it's people, for the most part here, seem to have their head on straight. I showed that guy who tried to rob this girl, and everybody within earshot came running and kind of gave him a beat down, ripped his clothes off him except his pants, to like shame him, and they let him go. They didn't actually hurt him, but it, sent the message home very clearly that we don't do that stuff here. And it's very cool. I love to see that. It was all within reason. And some people, don't take the law into your own hands. Well, if the law's not around, why not? That's where the idea of citizen's arrest came from. And to put a little scare into that guy, well, I think it's well deserved. He earned it. Will the Delta variant shut down entry into Armenia? I don't think so. I don't see anything like that. I mean, you never say never. You never know. I mean, Ecuador, they've gone crazy. It's going city by city, but Loja in Ecuador, for example, if you don't have an official digital format through the government website vaccination card, you can't get into a store. You can't, I mean, you're basically staying in your house. It's disgusting. It's sick. I don't know that we would ever see something like that here, but I mean, you never say never. I mean, they're pushing for it in a lot of places in the U.S. Yeah, well, in France, I mean, they're having tens of thousands of people in the streets saying hell no because they were talking about implementing something like that. I don't know that. I think people are kind of fed up with this whole deal at this point. Are Colombians crazy for the holy grail of vaccines or rightly a bit reserved? I think it's pretty normal. They're not. I don't see people like off the deep end with crazy conspiracy theories, which I had fun debunking a couple of them. Well, I got magnetism in my arm. See, I have these things that are, sticking to my arm. So they're putting coins on their arm that's on an angle like that. Well, the coin's of course going to stick. And another one with a light bulb. See, I took this light bulb out of the wall and put it to where the shot is, and the light comes on. It's a gimmick light you can buy on Amazon. I sent them the link, and it's actually distinguishable because it's got these unusual ribs on it. And it's like you have all this crap out there. The thing is that it should be people's choice based on however they feel. If you're low risk or whatever, and here. Yeah, people are, volunteering to get it, but they're not breaking doors down or having fits. And some people don't feel they need to get it. But it doesn't seem to be like it's not political here. I guess I could say it that way. Right now, they had these levels. I forget how it's laid out, but they started out by like people over 70. And then they had people over 60 and healthcare workers. Then they had, police and firemen, things like that, and dropped to, 50. Right now they're vaccinating here in Quindío, 35 years and up. So if you're 35 years and older, then you can get a shot. If you choose to do it. I don't know anyone here that's gotten one yet. But then again, everybody I know, they're all babies. I mean, they're all like 35 and under, it seems. Let's see. What do we got here? We got a few misinformed university students here. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's in the curriculum, and it's being taught worldwide. Just how it is. Do you know what percentage of Colombians are vaccinated? I don't know the percentage. I mean, it's constantly changing. I looked a week and a half ago, and I've only been looking here in Quindío. I really haven't paid attention to Colombia overall. Here in Quindío, 2 weeks ago, I think it was like 35%. I'm guessing maybe 50% are vaccinated by now, but I don't really know for sure. Honestly, I kind of don't care. I realize that look, COVID's real. I know it's real. I caught COVID. I know it's real. And I know that if you're high risk, diabetes, overweight, older, susceptible to pneumonia, things like that. It's those things that'll kill you, because if you catch COVID, then all of a sudden you get pneumonia. You got a good chance of dying in that category, and that's where people are dying for the most part. There's some exceptions, but when you got 8 billion people in the world, you're going to get exceptions. So it's real, it's serious. And for those people, you want to protect them as much as possible. Now, here I am in my 60s with lung problems, susceptible to pneumonia. I was very worried prior to me getting it. I was actually kind of overkill, paranoid. I've described the things that I did, like not go out and throw my clothes in the washer as soon as I got back, and jumped in the shower and didn't touch anything. I took things with me. So when I hit the ATM, I wasn't touching buttons, I wasn't opening doors. And I still got it because you can't stop a virus. That's the thing. I don't care what you do, you cannot stop a virus. And I got it. And I'm going, oh boy, here we go. And I was sick for 2 weeks, and I was really sick for 3 days, in particular, one day. Fever got really bad. On the other hand, all the terrible things that could happen didn't happen to me. And I guess, I mean, I don't have diabetes or anything, but I'm older, I got lung issues, and I'm overweight. So, so I got lucky or whatever. But the thing is, now I know if I get COVID, how things are going to go. And I just don't really concern myself with it. And I'm so sick of this mask thing. Okay, I'm on a tangent here. Sorry. Can you tell us more about your health insurance and what it covers? Okay, I have no need for it. I don't use it, but I do have it. It covers everything of importance. It covers dental, nothing cosmetic, but it covers dental. It covers hospital, ambulance, medicine. Now you got some copays, like for a prescription. Let's say you get a prescription, but your copay might be 70 cents. It's it's crazy cheap. Medicine here, for the most part, is pretty inexpensive anyway, because a lot of medicine is actually made right here in Colombia. It's not all made in China. Colombia makes pretty much everything you need to live, and some of their brands are really good. Okay. Diocese. What is that? What is a Colombian? Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. Um, World Explorer is their hospital with critical care in Armenia. Yes, in Armenia, we have two hospitals, one in the north, one in the south. You also have these places that are funded by the various health insurance companies. So there's one, and I did a video going back, I think, 2 years, where I went to one with a friend, and all the procedures like x-rays and CAT scans and things like that were in this building, which was, I think, 8 or 10 floors. And you could actually, it's like a clinic slash hospital slash testing center. And that's 2, 3 blocks from me, I think. So there's that. So depending on what healthcare company you have the option of some of these places, but then you always have the public hospitals. The one in the north is considered to be pretty good. The one in the south, I hear it's not so great. I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm told by some people that live in the south, they really don't like that hospital. Um, but I've also, when I've asked what in particular, about the only thing I can really get out of people is it seems that there's a lot of lines, like long lines there, and I I don't know. Um, yeah, hospitals are hospitals, but yeah, they have critical care. Um, it's never maxed out here through COVID, and it hasn't maxed out. As a matter of fact, it was so low for a while they were taking cases from Cali, COVID cases here that needed critical care because they had a lot of bed space and Cali was getting filled up. So I don't know how well I answered that question, but medical care here is not an issue. One block from me is a pretty well-known, what do you call it, cancer place. I should know. Well, I did mine through the VA, but it specializes in cancer treatment, and it's like just down the street. Um, what was it? Right across the street is another specialization center. Because I made a bad joke one time in a video a few years ago about you go here and you find out something and you have a heart attack, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, it was a heart thing. You had cancer. You find out you got cancer, you get upset, you got a heart attack, you can go right across the street to the heart center. So you got a heart specialist. It's one block. It's one block from me. You got on one side of the street, you've got a heart specialist center, and on the other side, you got a cancer specialist center. So, I don't know, flip the coin. Which way am I going to go? It certainly wasn't COVID. It's probably going to be cancer again. I'll probably catch cancer again. I don't know. All I know is outside of this horrible medicine I have to take every day, my health is good. It's the medicine that kills me. Got any other questions? Stop me from rambling, please. Do us all a favor. Driving people away. They're getting bored. Nobody wants to hear me talk. Okay. Well, if I don't have any more questions, we've run about 45 minutes. We can wrap it up here. I'm okay with that. HD Chillin', I appreciate you found that link and contributed to the channel. As always, it's really appreciated. You seem to be there a lot. YouTube certainly isn't. My medical coverage is covered through a program in my country. How difficult is it to get a Spanish certificate to English? I'm very confused. Are those two different things? I have medical coverage from the military that is, it's actually valid for me overseas. However, it's the law that if you're here as a resident, you get your cedula. By law, you have to subscribe to the basic healthcare insurance, which depending on your income, it's income based. It could run up. Mine's $60 a month, something like that. As far as a Spanish certificate to English, I'm really lost on that. I'm not sure what you mean. Good pizza, fish and chips, and hamburger places. There's a few good places for pizza. Fish and chips, honestly, not so much. There's only a couple places that I found, and it's not what it could be. Let's put it that way, because cod or haddock is not a fish really here, so it's a little disappointing. And I love haddock, I love cod, I love haddock. Where I'm from in upstate New York, Fridays is a crazy day for fish fries. And they have all these places that aren't even restaurants. They open only for this, where you get these big slabs of haddock that is beer battered, fried, and fries. I mean, fish and chips, basically, and you cover it with malt vinegar. And man, I just love that. I miss that. There's something special about haddock, as flaky as it is. It's almost got a sticky thing to it. And that's not here. But I've had, I can't think of the name of it, pre-COVID. There was a place I found fish and chips that was pretty good, and they did home delivery. I think that's one of those things, if you go to PriceSmart, you could probably get yourself some haddock. I should look. I never think about it. You could probably get it there and take it home, just make your own. A diploma from Spanish to English. I'm still not sure what you mean. You have a diploma that's in Spanish and you want to convert it to English? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just dense this morning. HD, appreciate your work. Well, I appreciate you being here all the time. I'm very grateful. How long did it take you to be a resident of Colombia? Okay, I'm not a permanent resident. You have to be here 5 years to be eligible for permanent resident. So I'm a resident of Colombia. It took me pre-COVID. It took me less than 10 days. That's because it took me less than 10 days to get my visa. Now it's taking at least a month to get your visa. So if you're here on 90 days, don't wait till the last minute. You want to go hit up the visa people, a month prior. Actually, what you want to do is, like in the case of the people that I use and refer everybody, send them off an email. Here's my situation, and let them tell you when you should get in there, because it seems to be something that's in flux, and it seems to be taking longer and longer. Not permanent resident, buy condo, not smart. Well, but I didn't buy a condo. And here's the thing: if you do get a visa for investment and you're doing it by buying a condo, then you become a permanent resident. So it's. I say this all the time. It's very complicated, the visa laws, because there's so many I before E except after C, and on Thursdays it's different. It's just there's a lot of nuance to it, and it all depends. Now, I'm one to constantly tell people don't buy property in the first year. However, there are some situations where it's actually a benefit for people to buy property. And not for most people, but occasionally that's how it is. And of course, it depends on people's personal circumstances as well. And in those cases, then the best thing you can do is get your best price on that condo so that you don't end up upside down in it. That part is a little tricky unless you have people that you can rely on. And I've tried to put that together. I've got some real estate people that are extremely reliable and dependable, because these things come up. Because for some people, percentage, maybe 5% or less of people, but for those people, it's really advantageous for them to buy a condo. Hey, we all have our different deals. This chat is moving. I mean, your recent scribes. Do you have to buy anything for retirement visa? Just the visa. It'll cost you under $500, all in, including the service. Now, people say, well, I want to do it myself. Why should I pay somebody to do it? Well, first of all, and I won't speak for all of them, but the ones that I recommend, the ones that I use myself, and I could do it myself, but here's the deal. Right? Somehow that saying has gotten ruined. So here's the thing. No, we can't talk about, the thing. So, all right. Well, here's how it is. Let's try it that way. Threw myself off track. For the retirement visa, if I were to do it myself, that means I've got to take a trip to Bogota. I've got to have a hotel for at least one night, very possibly a couple nights, because I would have to go to the embassy to have verified my paperwork from the U.S., because they do that for you. And then I would have to go to the Colombian consulate to get the visa. That all costs, plus it's time, and it's a hassle. And do you know where you're going? Do you know what door to go in? You don't know any of that kind of stuff. Where these people, I pay them I don't remember the exact amount, $50, $40, and they handle all of it. They take care of everything. All I do is drop them a minimum amount of paperwork. They go to Bogota. They do this kind of stuff. They come back and it's ready to go. So the whole thing cost me under $500. How long is a retirement visa valid? It depends. And I went into some depth in a visa video not so long ago, and I've talked about it a few times recently, but quickly as I can, with my ramble on disease. It was pre-COVID, basically 3 years. The way the law was written, it was 1, 2, or 3 years at the discretion of the immigration officer who reviewed the paperwork. But it was always 3 years. Well, the law didn't change, but how they address it has. It was always a law about having health insurance, but they never enforced it. Well, now they're enforcing it. So you have to have health insurance. So let's say you come here and you've got travel insurance, which is what most people do, and the travel insurance is good. Let's say you got it for 3 months or 6 months or whatever, long enough to get your visa and then get the Colombian insurance. Makes sense. However, because you don't have coverage past a year, then those people are only getting a 1-year visa. Then you can get your health insurance, and when the 1 year is up, you can then go apply for another visa, at which point it'll probably be 3 years. No guarantees on anything anymore, but if you've got the EPS insurance, that's the way it probably should go. Now, is it all about health insurance, or is it a way to squeeze yet one more visa in the whole process? I don't know. But that's just how it is. Now, if you come in and you've got health insurance contract that you can show that's up to 3 years, then you can get a 3-year visa. But then the cost of that's going to be pretty high. I don't know. But so the way it's working now, it's pretty safe to say that you're probably only going to get a 1-year visa the first time around. But that's the deal. Yeah, did that one. Okay. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. All you people that come back on a regular basis, we got one more. I really appreciate it. And I saw some new names. So either you've been out there and this is your first time commenting, or you're new to the channel. Definitely appreciate that too. Anyone want to start a betting pool on where Coleman will be next week? I have dibs on Libya. Yeah, some of the places that he's named, I mean, Egypt is one of the better ones, but he's had some pretty crazy ones that he throws out there. Okay, so before we go, here's my thank you. Try to update that every week. I think it's up to date. I'll be going through it. I did find a way to manually cancel the YouTube memberships, and so I did that. So some of these, if you hadn't gone and reopened that in the website grandcolumbia.live for membership, then I'll clear that out and find out who has, who hasn't, and adjust that accordingly. But I think it's up to date. So I have a lot of people to thank. And that's it. We will officially call it an end here. As always, appreciate you guys and look forward to you coming to visit. See you later.
Wow.